Camping under the stars sounds peaceful, but sometimes the wilderness has other plans. A crackling fire and a quiet night can quickly turn into a scene straight out of a nightmare. What happens when campers encounter the unexplainable? These 10 disturbing moments caught on camera show how an innocent adventure can take a terrifying turn. From shadowy figures lurking in the trees to strange sounds echoing in the dark, these encounters will make anyone think twice about pitching a tent. These stories will leave you sleeping with one eye open. Mysterious encounter by the well. A man parked near a well while exploring a remote area. The well, secured with a metal bar, reminded him of The Ring, a movie that terrified him as a child. Choosing not to park near it, he moved elsewhere, but soon heard strange, loud moaning sounds echoing across the mountains. Curious and slightly unnerved, he followed the sound to the well, where it suddenly stopped. There, he saw a girl walking from the woods. She wore simple clothing resembling a monk's robe, had no shoes, and was bald. He greeted her, but she only responded briefly before continuing her way into the woods. Worried, he tried to check on her again, but she was nowhere to be found. The area she walked toward had no visible path and was surrounded by wilderness for miles. Later, his usually friendly dog acted strangely, avoiding the well. He also claimed to capture a fleeting image of a woman in white who vanished before his eyes. A solo traveler's eerie encounter in the desert. Alyssa, a solo female traveler, was camping in her van in the desert outside Tucson, Arizona, when she had an unsettling encounter. A man in a TV van approached, offering her water and asking if she was okay. Despite his seemingly friendly demeanor, Alyssa felt uneasy. When she asked if he was a ranger, he explained that he lived nearby but wasn't officially part of any authority. Their conversation continued, with the man mentioning his family and inviting Alyssa to use their shower. After the interaction, the man left, but Alyssa soon heard muffled voices in the distance, making her feel like he hadn't actually left. After a while, he returned with unsettling news, claiming someone was watching her from a mountain with binoculars. Although he reassured her about the safety of the other side of the mountain, Alyssa, sensing something wasn't right, decided to leave. The man, however, continued to watch her from his vehicle, nervously tracing patterns on the steering wheel. Trusting her instincts, Alyssa eventually left the area safely, but the eerie experience stayed with her. The abandoned factory. A man decided to camp alone in an old, abandoned factory. While tending to his campfire late at night, he suddenly heard a knock coming from the darkness behind him. Startled, he grabbed his flashlight and turned to investigate. As the light cut through the eerie silence, a shadowy figure darted across his view, moving quickly before disappearing into the factory's shadow. The moment left him frozen, unsure of what he had just seen. The haunting atmosphere of the deserted factory only heightened the sense of dread, leaving him questioning whether to stay or leave. Experience at Everest Base Camp. In April 2015, a Belgian adventurer set out to conquer Mount Everest, eager to tackle the world's tallest peak. His journey took a terrifying turn when the ground suddenly began to tremble, signaling the onset of a catastrophic earthquake. Initially unconcerned due to the lack of nearby structures, the tremors grew more intense, and soon a warning cry rang out in the air. A massive snow cloud loomed ominously behind him. Panic set in as the adventurer sprinted toward his tent, but the snow quickly engulfed everything. Gasping for air, he used his scarf as a filter, inching his way toward safety. The earthquake had triggered a powerful avalanche that wreaked havoc on Everest Base Camp. Despite protective measures, the force of the avalanche shattered tents, flinging people into the air. Tragically, many lost their lives, succumbing to injuries rather than suffocation. In the aftermath, focus shifted to rescue operations, with 100 people injured and 19 confirmed dead. Despite the physical and emotional toll, the adventurer was determined to return to Everest months later. His journey wasn't over, and he ultimately succeeded in and summoning the strength to finish what he had started, haunting chaos at the campsite. On a cold fall evening, after enjoying a hearty meal of garlic parmesan potatoes, rain began to fall. Seeking shelter, the group retreated into their van to watch a movie. The peace didn't last long. At 2 a.m., they were startled awake by loud banging on the van. Frightened, they sat silently, hoping the noise would pass. After gathering enough courage, they peered outside and were shocked to see 3 aggressive porcupines wreaking havoc on their campsite. The animals overturned tables, knocked over camp stoves, and even banged chairs against the van. Adding to the fear was a story they had heard earlier about bodies being discovered just a few feet from their campsite. The tension reached a new height when they caught a glimpse of a haunting face on camera. Only for it to vanish moments later. The eerie disappearance left them questioning what they had truly witnessed. Close encounters with nature's power. In the heart of the wild, a camper's peaceful night was suddenly interrupted around 6 o'clock by the terrifying growl of a lion. Lying still in his tent, he realized the only thing standing between him and the predator was the thin fabric of his shelter. His heart raced as he listened to the growl intensify, unsure of what would happen next. In a desperate attempt to stay safe, the camper began to pray, hoping the lion would lose interest. Miraculously, the lion's presence seemed to fade into the distance. With cautious relief, the camper took the opportunity to crawl out of his tent and make a run for his vehicle. Once safely inside, he watched in awe as the lion circled his abandoned tent. Despite the terror of the moment, the camper knew he had witnessed nature's raw beauty in its purest form. Mysterious figure caught on drone footage. 2 men sat in their car, using a drone to survey a stretch of land. While scanning the area, something unusual caught their attention on the drone screen. At first, they thought it might be a coyote, but its strange movements and pale, almost white appearance quickly ruled that out. As they tried to get a closer look, the mysterious figure moved through the trees in an eerie, scavenging manner. Despite their efforts to navigate the drone carefully and identify what they were seeing, the figure remained unrecognizable. Moments later, the strange entity vanished from view, leaving both men baffled and unsettled by the unexplained encounter captured on camera. A ghostly encounter in the English countryside. On a spooky Halloween adventure, a bold explorer set out the van camp in the stillness of the English countryside. He parked his stealth camper near a notorious woodland, rumored to be haunted by spirits from a nearby cemetery and a Viking driven to madness. As darkness fell, the explorer ventured into the nearby woods, unaware of the chilling experiences awaiting him. While preparing a simple meal, a white shadow flickered past him. The ghostly figure was barely visible, but disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. The brief encounter was unsettling, signaling the start of a night filled with strange occurrences. Curiosity led him deeper into the woods, where a mysterious light beckoned him. Upon investigating, he discovered a card urging acts of kindness. Despite the heartwarming message, the atmosphere remained heavy with foreboding. His ghostly quest reached its peak when he came face to face with a shadowy figure in the distance. The dark, ethereal form seemed to hover, indistinct yet undeniably there. Panicked and unsure, the explorer began to make his way back to the safety of his van. Later, as he reflected on the events, he weighed rational explanations against the possibility of a supernatural encounter. Whether it was a prank, an illusion, or a true ghost sighting, the experience remained an unforgettable part of his Halloween adventure. Figure spotted during camping vlog. A man was vlogging his camping trip deep in the woods when something terrifying happened. While recording his surroundings, his live audience noticed something unusual in the background. Behind a tree, a dark, shadowy figure appeared, partially hidden. but clearly watching him. His viewers alerted him to the presence of the strange creature just in time. Shocked and uneasy, he quickly scanned the area, but couldn't fully make out what it was. The unsettling moment was captured live, leaving both him and his viewers disturbed by the mysterious figure. Flash flood during van life adventure. Snow and Kurt, living a 2-year journey of full-time van life in Central America, had found a stunning campsite by a waterfall. But as the sun set, their peaceful night was disrupted by a terrifying realization. The tranquil stream they had parked near was rapidly turning into a massive, fast-moving torrent. Panic set in as they realized they were trapped by the rising waters. They quickly sprang into action, with Snow guiding Kurt as they maneuvered the van toward higher ground. As the van lurched dangerously through a hidden hole in the rushing water, they narrowly avoided disaster. Miraculously, they made it to safety, breathing a sigh of relief as they reflected on the terrifying experience and their gratitude for escaping unharmed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the adventure, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more thrilling stories. Stay curious and see you in the next video.